Hey guys, so today we're going to talk about Twilight Masquerade. It's been out a while now, so we're going to take a look at how some of the cards are doing. Some of my predictions obviously were wrong. I didn't think the Greninja was going to be a big chase card. It's holding over $160. TCG Player currently says 150 on this, but today, June 17th, sales 165, 169, 190. So there clearly is, a market for this card. People want it. Outside that, the Carmine, is around $100. Perrin's over 70. It's still to be determined where these cards are going to land long term, but clearly there is some desire for these cards as well. Some things haven't done as well as maybe expected, or for some people not surprising. The Blood Moon Ursaluna EX is just tanking. The Kieran's only about $40 right now. Obviously, the Ogre Pond cards are just not that hot. The Teal Mask is $42. Outside of that, you have the Wellspring one at 27 almost, Heart Flame almost 21, and then the Cornerstone Mask Ogerpon is, if I can pull my screen properly, under $20, 19.99. So those cards, unsurprisingly, haven't done super well. This Eevee also, again, for me, the jury's still out on it. I said I don't think this was going to be a $30, $40 card, especially considering how Ghastly is doing in Temporal Forces, but that one's even back up to, I think, like $30 now or something. But I don't think this is going to hold over $40. It's just Eevee. If you had some Eeveelutions in there, you had a Jolteon or a Vaporeon in the background in the artwork, like maybe then it would be worth a bit more. But just Eevee, I'm not too sure it can hold over 40. Some people call me crazy for that. We're already under $40, right? So, set came out early May. Basically a month later, we're already under 40 from, its high around 48. June 17th, lots of sales, 36. 35 and 37, so it's mid 30s now, based on what sales are happening. I can barely speak, guys, this is rough. uh, but yeah, I mean, outside those cards, Tatsugiri is interesting to keep an eye on as well. Obviously this came out the gate hot, and then it crashed back down to around that $10-11, but it's seeming to stabilize around this point. I wouldn't be surprised if eventually this is a $20 card and someone tries to pump it or buy it out at some point. It's nice to look at. It's a great artwork. Obviously not like a fan favorite Pokemon, but a lot of these IR cards that are popping off now, that's not even like a prerequisite. So it will be interesting to see what happens to some of these cards in the future. You have like the Chansey down here as well, over $11 still. It'd be interesting to see what happens to that one. If you go into the second and third page, at the top of the second page, you have the Hisuian Growlithe, which is paired with the Perrin SIR. So that one might hold some value long term as well. The Pinsir, again, great artwork. I really love that one. You have some playable cards in here like the Greninja and the Dragapult. That's why they're worth a little bit. The Infernape in here also. Some people think that might do well long term. Diplin also in there. What else? You have the Applin as well. Sunflora. So you have a lot of like decent IR artworks in here, even into the third page. You have Timber in there. You have some other ones down here as well, I believe. Like the Lairon over here, eating the garbage and whatnot. That's pretty cool. Probopass. So even into the third page, right? Like there's lots of cards you can pull that aren't worth a ton, but they're beautiful IR artworks. But obviously, the Greninja, I was definitely wrong on this. I said this wasn't really a chase card. It's holding for now, right? Over $100. Closer to even two. And who knows? Like maybe this is going to be the first card in Scarlet and Violet that breaks $200. I mean, it's selling for 190, so it's not too far off at this point. Obviously, a lot of these cards like the Carmine and the Perrin, I do think are going to come down. The Blood Moon Ursaluna is falling a lot, but it's yet to be seen where a lot of these cards are going to fall. But I do think it's a better set than I initially thought. The box price as well is holding pretty decent, around $107. June 7th or 17th today. Lots of sales at 108.78, so it's almost a $110 box. We're gonna have to see, obviously, once a reprint comes long term. If it does come, Black Friday, is it gonna get blown out? So who knows if this is gonna get down to the 90s? Who knows if we're ever gonna see Scarlet and Violet boxes around there again? But if you're gonna buy in now, obviously you are gonna have to hold for the long term. It's not the next Evolving Skies where it's gonna be a $200 box in the next year or so, but definitely better than what I thought originally. So I do have to say I was wrong there. But yeah, I mean, we're gonna have to keep an eye on some of these cards, like the Eevee. I do think this is gonna keep coming down. I am holding strong in that opinion. especially if a reprint comes, long term. Once there's just a ton of cards out there, I don't think it's going to hold as strong. The Perrin, I think, will come down. The Carmine, again, I wouldn't be surprised if this card continues to fall. Even the Ogre Pawn masks on the first page, if I can pull them up, I don't. Maybe the teal one holds, who knows? But some of these cards, like, I get their SIRs, and maybe that's why they'll hold value long term, just because of the rarity. But they're just such bad cards, guys. Like, I've talked about this multiple times. You've heard me say it. I was super disappointed with them, and yeah, but it is what it is. That said, it's not as bad of a set as I thought it was going to be. So, I just got to come out and say I was wrong about that. But where some of these cards land is yet to be seen. But that's basically the video. If you enjoyed this content, I'd appreciate if you guys could subscribe to the channel. 65.6% of you still aren't subscribed. I said if we hit 5K before the end of the year, I am going to open all of those 36 Silver Tempest packs, and I'm going to give away the hits to a subscriber. So, if you want to be part of that, we got to hit 5K before the end of the year. With that said, thank you guys so much for watching. Stay safe wherever you are in the world, and I'll catch you in the next one.